Hello everyone. Throughout my whole life, I've enjoyed listening to music from all genres and groups of people in order to gain a new perspective on it. I always talk to my friends about music and have always wanted to review my favorite songs and albums with the hopes of getting more people to appreciate them with me. In this time, I've come across some amazing and life-changing songs and albums, and well, some not so good or pretty miserable songs and albums. Even when listening to bad music, I'm able to take something out of it though. For instance, if it has a good beat and bad lyrics, I'm going to appreciate the beat of that song. I've mostly been a hip hop and rap fan, but nowadays if the song is good, I don't really care what genre it's from. In recent years, I've started to branch out into rock and alternative music. One of my favorite alternative albums is Riot by Paramore. Now, I know that everyone and their mom has listened to Misery Business and that's what you get, but that's not the entire album. For my first review, I'm going to dive into Riot, detail a brief history of the album, each song, and say which song is my favorite and why. Since this is my first review, I don't expect it to be perfect, but I hope I'm able to give you an entertaining and insightful look into this album that you may not have had before. Thank you and enjoy this review on Riot by Paramore. In order to talk about Riot, I must talk about what led up to it first. Back in 2004, Paramore was formed by lead singer Hayley Williams and some of her friends, which were the brothers in the group at the time, Josh Farro, which is the guitarist, and the current drummer, Zach Farro, as well as the bassist, Jeremy Davis. They were picked up by the record label Warner Music and placed under their Fueled by Ramen brand. The first album is All We Know Is Falling, or AUKUS as I like to call it, back in 2005. While it wasn't a smash hit, it was good enough to put them on the map as they would start hosting small shows in certain parts of the US. After the hype from AUKUS died down, the group looked towards working on their second album, Riot. Recordings for the album took place in New Jersey from January to April 2007, with the album being released on June 12, 2007. Surprisingly, reviews were mixed for the album, with it receiving a 67 on Metacritic. Over time though, the album would become a cult classic for alternative listeners and garner the group multiple platinum hits. Let's just say that this album gave the group their first real taste of commercial success. One of the best parts about this album is its unique cover art. While it isn't the most colorful or bombastic, it does its job well by being a chaotic and bold one, since it features the main title plastered all over in different ways. The main Riot is the biggest one on the cover and contrasts the other ones by being orange instead of black. From my first time looking at the cover, I knew that I had an exciting listen ahead of me. Alright, let's get to the heart and soul of Riot, its music. This song is a great intro to the album as it hypes up listeners for what's coming up next. On this opening track, Hayley talks about putting her faith into someone else that didn't appreciate it and disappointed her. The title makes perfect sense for this song because the overall tone is negative and hurtful, signaling the pessimism from Hayley. The optimism is the faith she puts in the person that let her down. Overall, I find this song to be a good stage setter for the album with its tone and strong energy.
I would say you can't run away, you can't run away, you wouldn't. I never wanted to say this. You never wanted to stay. I put my faith in you, so much faith, and then you just threw it away.
That's What You Get follows the tone from For a Pessimist, I'm Pretty Optimistic, as this song details the concept of listening to your heart instead of your head. Hayley talks about how her heart affects her decisions, which causes them to be based off emotions instead of logic. From this, she makes more mistakes, which ties into the title of getting what she deserves for her bad decisions. One of my favorite parts from this album actually comes in this song after the bridge, where Hayley invites pain to come her way after the choices she's made. The song ends with the chorus, showing how Haley hasn't learned anything from her choices. This is one of my favorite songs on the album due to the vocals and amazing beat. It came out as a single the month before the album and was certified gold the following year. This song is one of Paramore's first big hits, and for good reason. Hallelujah is such a feel-good song as it focuses on Haley asking God to have everything fall right into place for the band within a timely manner. Haley's dynamic and booming vocals are put on full display in this track as her Hallelujah calls go above and beyond. The vocals go hand in hand with the grand instrumentals as well. The guitar work and kicks with the drums do wonders for this song. Haley uses the concepts of not giving up and to keep working hard to show the band success through all the hard work. Every time I listen to this song, I appreciate it more since it's a great song about determination and not running away from the struggles that come with seeking success. Alright, anyone that's listened to rock, pop, or alternative music in the last 15 years has probably stumbled across Misery Business once in their life. I mean, I even put it as the intro instrumental in the background for this review. When Riot came out, it was definitely Paramore's most popular song at the time, and it probably still is to this day. At that time, Misery Business was a quintessential alternative pop song. It was the lead single for the album and was released 2 months before it. It was actually influential towards me getting more into their music since it was one of the first songs I listened to from them. I'll always remember my first listen to this song due to its cliche premise of jealousy and the 60s-like intro with the instrumentals being put through a filter and Haley asking for that snare. In this song, Haley details a scenario in which she wants a guy at school that one of the popular or mean girls have. Yes, I know that this is a basic 2000s emo pop song trope that thankfully died out, but it works so well in this song that I gotta just look past it. It also breaks the mold a little bit by having Haley end up on top instead of the girl, getting what she wanted. The funniest part of this song is the second verse, in which Haley straight up calls the girl a whore.
Second chances, they don't ever matter. People never change. What's a whore? You're nothing more. I'm sorry, that'll never change.
Haley expresses how good it feels to get this guy she's wanted after so long and to see the girl lose. However, she's still a little humble about the whole thing by claiming that she never meant to brag about it. Going back to the instrumentals, they're phenomenal on this track. The guitar solo and refrain going into the last chorus part with some top tier pop instrumentals. Misery Business is a must listen to song for Paramore and any alternative fans in general. It's always been one of my favorite Paramore songs, so I'm glad to have been influenced by it. When It Rains is a fallback down to earth song and the most depressing song of the album. I'm just going to put a trigger warning here since this song deals with suicide, but not in an explicitly stated way. This song details someone, narrated by Haley, dealing with the suicide of someone else they knew by saying that that person convinced himself that suicide was a good idea, and Haley questioning why they did it out of shock and disbelief.
That's that real music, man. Come back home, motherfucker, see how real it is, man. You say like, damn, man, like.
Also deals with closure since the narrator lacks it from the suicide. I think that this is one of the most underrated tracks on the album because I've never heard of too many Paramore fans liking this song. I greatly appreciate the band for bringing down the energy for a more serious song that a lot of people can relate to. It's a hidden gem for sure. Let the Flames Begin brings the energy back up from the previous songs. The focus of this song is about keeping faith while in a rough patch. The band was in a transition period between AUKUS and Riot, so this song goes over this by symbolizing the flame as the fire that keeps the band alive. My favorite part of this song is the chorus, in which Haley talks about standing strong through whatever adversity comes the band's way. This song does a good job of influencing listeners to stand up against adversity and make the best out of everything. However, I believe that this is the worst song on the album, but it's still a nice song. It just goes to show you how Riot is such a great album that even the worst song is still good. Look, I'ma just lay it out there that Miracle is my favorite Paramore song. Maybe even the best song on this album. Sorry, Misery Business fans. Haley even said at their Parahoy 2014 show that this song was being worked on before shows back in 2005, and that is one of their most important tracks. Miracle is about a conversation between Haley and God, in which she talks about depression and trying to make herself better over and over again.
I've gone for too long, living like I'm not alive. So I'm gonna start over tonight, beginning with you and I. When this memory fades, I'm gonna make sure it's replaced with chances taken, hope embraced. And have I told you?
The chorus for this song is amazing with the loop of the riffs and drums, as well as Haley's vocals, where she talks about not giving up on her faith and leaving God, and God saying that he won't let her give up till somebody save her.
I just need this pain to end right here. I'm not going, 'cause I've been waiting for a miracle, and I'm not leaving. I won't let you give up on a miracle, 'cause it might save you.
If you haven't noticed by now, Haley is a devout Christian and has talked about this in multiple songs. While I'm not religious myself, I appreciate Haley appreciating her religion and finding a way to put it into songs without forcing it upon listeners. Miracle is a song that gives me a lot of hope whenever I'm not feeling too good, so that's why I love this song so much, and I can't recommend it enough. It's a simple but very sweet song. Crushcrushcrush is about two people having a crush on each other, but not being able to have a relationship due to personal issues or the people around them influencing their choices. This song starts with Haley noticing the guy she has a crush on, always staring at her and saying how it makes no sense to her. After this, she talks about how the guy's friends influenced his choice to not get with her, calling them little spies.
Notice your eyes are always glued to me, keeping them here, and it makes no sense at all. They taped over your mouth, scribbled out the truth with their lies, you little spies.
The best part of this song by far is the pre-chorus too, which is what Genius calls it for some odd reason. The intensity, the backup vocals from Josh, and the cue to move to the chorus makes this song one of the most hype ones on the album. The chorus is about Haley imagining a quiet evening with her crush and her coming to the realization that it's just a dream since it never happens.
Compares to a quiet evening alone, just the one, two. I was just counting on that never happened. I guess I'm dreaming again.
The second verse goes on with Haley admitting that the guy is treating their situation like a game, and that she'd rather waste her time pretending things were going well instead of forgetting about him. Later on in the song comes the bridge, which I'm just play for y'all since it's so good.
Rock and roll, baby, don't you know that we're all alone now? I need something to sing about. Rock and roll, don't you know
funny memory I have with this song is the first time I played it on my record player, the pitch was insanely high and made Haley sound like a chipmunk. Like I said before, Crushcrushcrush is one of the most hyped songs on the album and definitely deserves a listen even if you don't decide to listen to the entire album. We Are Broken is the final emotional song on this album, and it's a great conclusion for the emotional section of it. This song is about Haley praying to God about becoming whole again after witnessing so many troubling things in her life. It starts with the synthesized intro with muffled vocals in the background before transitioning to Haley singing over piano, some nice percussion. As the song goes on, the instruments build up with Haley's voice. The wide range of instruments in this song makes it so impressive since they all work so well with each other instead of clashing. I couldn't even tell you how many are used. I just know that a lot of care and love was put into this song by all the members of the band. This song will have you in your feelings for sure if you're going through troubles in your life. It's just a heartfelt song that we all need sometimes.
Keep me safe inside your arms like towers tower over me. Yeah, 'cause we are broken.
Damn, them layers good as hell.
Restore our innocence and all the promise we adored. Give us life again, 'cause we just wanna be
Fences is about the pressures of being a public figure, constantly being followed by the media. Haley has said in multiple interviews that this song was made during the band's first year and a half. During the first wave of shows, Haley was pretending to be okay with everything since she wanted to seem perfect all the time to the media and her fans. This theme was later explored in their song Fake Happy, which is on their 2017 album After Laughter. The title of this song is based on fences being built between celebrities' public and private lives. The chorus ties back to the idea of trying to seem perfect and going out of style if Haley's true feelings are revealed. Honestly, this song is deeper than most people would think it is because it's energetic. I love songs like this that mask their true meaning behind an upbeat tone and some good energy. Fences is just another good song on this great album.
This road is all you'll ever have, and it's obvious that you're dying, just living proof that the camera's lying, and open wide, 'cause this is your night, so smile, 'cause you'll go out in style.
Oh my God, it's so unfair. Once you all see this video, it's the best thing you ever seen in your life. I swear to God, this right here is the good life.
Born for This is the last song on this album, and my God, it is a perfect conclusion to bring everything together for this dynamic album. This song is about the band not caring about what critics think of their music and instead caring about their fans. Haley proclaims that the band was born for the pressure that comes with being musicians, beating out the themes of Fences. The intro never gets old for me with its powerful drums and blasting guitar riffs. The pre-chorus is one of my favorite parts of any Paramore song, since Haley talks about their music tasting like wine in a metaphorical way to signify that it will age well to their fans. It's also a middle finger to the critics, since she states that it takes acquired minds to taste it. Haley goes on to say that they don't need the headlines, that they just want their airways back, which is said in such a fantastic and clever way by placing Haley's vocals in the background with a filter.
It takes acquired minds to taste this wine. Get down it with your eyes. So we don't need the headlines. We don't need the headlines. We just want.
The chorus starts with Haley projecting one of her insecurities. which is that she must sing like it's the last song she'll ever sing, since the critics believe that Riot wouldn't be as good as their previous album, AUKUS. She also asks herself, can she feel the pressure now, which is a nod to one of the band's previous hits from AUKUS, Pressure. Haley then says that everyone should live like it's their last day, because we should live freely and express ourselves. As you might have noticed already, Paramore's music greatly promotes being free and making your own choices, which is how I live my life. In the second verse, Haley expresses that the fans are the only reason she's still singing, and that she'll walk away from the industry if everyone's worth pleasing. Her goal is to get rid of people's finite states of mind, allowing them to become open-minded in general.
Right now, you're the only reason I'm not letting go. Oh, and time out if everyone's worth pleasing. You'll trigger a landslide to kill off their finite state of mind.
The bridge continues with the appeal to the fans by mimicking a concert where Haley asks the crowd if they're ready and asking them to say something with her. She repeats this with more repetitions and transitions to the next chorus, which is Haley hitting one of the best notes I've ever heard in my life.
So you think you're ready? Okay, then you say this with me. We were born for this. 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 We were born for this.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god!
God, I love that part. Anyways, the outro ends with Haley proclaiming that the band was born for all the pressure and scrutiny that comes with being musicians. Born for This is such a fun song, an energetic one to listen to whenever I'm trying to hype myself up. It's like a call to action for just doing what you love to do without worrying about the pressure of society. I think it's a perfect outro for this roller coaster of an album, as it ties together the band's insecurities and love for their working fans. This is what makes Riot a riot of an album.
Tell me, can you feel the pressure? We were born for this. We were born for this. We were born for this.
To close this review off, I just want to say that Riot is a great album and a must listen to for anyone who enjoys alternative and rock music, or anyone who just wants to get into Paramore. Riot is my favorite Paramore album, and honestly one of my favorite albums of all time. My favorite song on the album is Miracle, which I already stated before, because I love the final chorus and the overall feel of the song. It always makes me hopeful for my future. In recent years, I haven't been able to sit down and listen to a bunch of albums, so giving Riot its props goes to show y'all that I really love this album and Paramore as a whole. Following this review, I plan to make more reviews and music content in the future on the other albums I love from my favorite artists, and I'll definitely cover more Paramore to give them the love and support they deserve. I hope that I was able to explain each song well enough for y'all, and that y'all enjoyed this review on Riot. Before y'all go though, sometimes stream on my Twitch channel, which I'll have in the description if you ever want to see me play video games. My schedule isn't really set up yet because of college, but as the year goes on, I have breaks and summer starts, I'll be streaming way more. I'd also like to shout out my friend Mace, who makes amazing beats over on his YouTube channel, for helping me by providing that clip that I used earlier in the video. See y'all later, and have a great day. One of the reviews from Metacritic that I found funny was this 70% from Play Louder, in which they said, the good news is that for a bunch of brats, they're well in control of the complex, riddling, labyrinthine structures that go towards making the perfect pop punk songs. Okay, the only thing I gotta say about it, it is a positive review, I suppose, but why in the world did they use labyrinthine structures as a part of the review? They was just using big words.